Well, hi everyone. It's Nancy, the nurse practitioner, and what a beautiful evening. I'm sitting out here in my backyard just enjoying the cool April day in Connecticut, and we're going to talk about the aging world. Wow, the world is aging really fast, and I'm one of the people that are doing it with us. I'm one of the baby boomers, and according to the National Institute of 2015 and the National Institute for Aging of 2015, they have statistics that say that Americans 65 and over population is projected to double over the next 3 decades, so that by 2050 we are going to be from 48 million people to over 88 million people in America. Holy cow, there's going to be a lot of us that are going to be pretty old living in America. And I'll be about 93 at that time, and that's kind of scary in a way, because I know that I'm going to live longer than 93, I think, because I have a Nana that lived to 91, I have an aunt that lived to 100, I have a grandma that lived to 101, I have her sister that lived to 103, my father lived to 94. I'm going to be here a while to pester you guys on my YouTube channel. Anyway, so by 2050, which is not so far away, the global life expectancy at birth is projected to increase 8 years, climbing from 68.6 in 2015 to 76.2 years by 2050. That's another 8 years. And the oldest old, which are people aged 80 and older, are expected to more than triple between 2015 and 2050, growing from 126.5 million to 146.6 million. Oh my gosh, this older population is rapidly growing in proportion to the world's population, and this is according to NIH Director Richard Hodes, MD. People are living longer, but we're not necessarily living better or healthier. And if you look around you, if you go to Disney World, well, I know with COVID we haven't been, or the grocery store, or anywhere, people are not fit. They have multiple medical problems. They're on many medications, and they're smokers. They're doing a lot, and they're going to have a difficult long-term life expectancy. In other words, they're not going to be well in those last years. And this aging population, the one thing we need to think about is there's many opportunities and several public health challenges that we're going to be facing. Baby boomers are from 1946 to 1964. And with the oldest baby boomers now turning 74 this year, 2021, we need to figure out what we're all going to do. Now, I was a home care nurse for many years, and I also ran a house calls company, and I would see house after house after house of people living alone upstairs like at a high ranch and not going downstairs at all these empty rooms, and they only lived in 4 of the rooms. They had to pay the taxes, the heat for all these rooms. They had to fix a leaky roof. They had to have the lawn mowed. They had to take care of termites and anything else that had to happen in this home, but they were living there alone, and there were many of them. And I just want to say that one of my most favorite ideas, and I thought of this years ago, was about the idea of people living together in a commune situation. Now, I know people of the baby boomer age, we're from the 60s and 70s. We're used to communing together because of, like, Woodstock. You build a garden, you have a nice ranch home, everybody takes a room. If Mary's dying in room 1, you sit vigil for Mary. When Mary passes away, she's replaced by Ethel. You could either have a co-ed kind of situation. You can hire an aide for everybody, a cook, somebody to clean the house, and you share the rent. Maybe rent a house so it's equal, and when the person dies, then another person pays the rent. And yet you have camaraderie, you pool the expenses, and you have a place of your own. And I think that's really, really cool. I definitely see myself doing something like that in my lifetime, maybe with some of my family members that I really enjoy being with. You play cards at night or poker, whatever you're going to do. But at least and you could even go in your own room and shut the door if you've had enough of everyone, but at least you have your own space and you can share the expenses, and you have a social network that cares about you. So I just want to share a funny story with you. I had a patient named Felicia, and one day I was at her house, and she's scooting around the kitchen in her scooter, which was an electric scooter, and she was making dinner, and I was also visiting Victoria, who was around the corner in an assisted living, who hated the food that we're serving that night. So I called up Felicia and said, "Hey, would you like someone to come over to eat dinner with you?" And she said, "Sure." So she made the spaghetti and the sauce and the meatballs, whatever, and I brought Victoria over, who could climb her steps in the high ranch into her kitchen. She comes into the kitchen, they sit down. I said, "I'm going to leave you two for a couple hours. I'm going to go out and see more patients. I'll come back, Victoria, take you home." I come back, I get Victoria, I take her down in the car, and she said, Felicia wouldn't stop talking. She just was a yacker all the time. And then she said, and I hated her food, she's a terrible cook. So much for that idea. It turned out that Victoria moved into an assisted living, and Felicia's still in her house alone with her family taking care of her and paying all these bills. Hey, it has to be a good fit and people that you like to be with. Not all people get along equally. You have to be a little bit, able to bend like the willow, You also could consider renting out some of your rooms, maybe to college students, so at least you're not alone at night. That one's really, really cool, and I love that idea. The second thing I thought would be cool to tell you is, what about like the Holiday Inn? Let's say you sell your house and you need a place to live. Well, Holiday Inn is really cool. In 2019, 112,000 people, according to Terry Robinson's wacky but perhaps brilliant idea, it was to check into a Holiday Inn instead of a nursing home. Now, I know that going into a nursing home, you have to have a skilled need, like a bed sore and a catheter, or be wheelchair bound or demented, something. But the point is that if you are fairly well, and you sold your house and you don't want to take care of all the things like dusting and rooms and leaky roof and all that, think about this. You could check into a Holiday Inn under a discount senior plan for $59.23 a day, and you would get breakfast the next morning, and some of them even have happy hour, and there you meet new friends. You could stay in this Holiday Inn for a little while, and then you can move to the one in Hawaii or Missouri or the one near your kids in Colorado and stay for a month or two at a time and move around. So according to his calculations, a nursing home care for him and his wife is about $188 a day. And he figures that you stay in a Holiday Inn, you have the extra $128.77 for lunch, dinner, and other expenses. So you can go stay in a go to a high-cost dinner and have a really great time. You can use the spa, you have a swimming pool, you have a workout room, you have a washer dryer. You get free toothpaste, I love this, free toothpaste, razors, all the free shampoo and soap you need. You can give a $5 tip a day and you'd still get such good service. If your light bulb goes out, you're not bothering anybody because they'll come in and say, "I'm sorry that you've been inconvenienced," because you are a customer. You're treated like a customer, not like a patient. There's a local city bus maybe you could take and take a senior ride for free. There's also a handicap bus that could pick you up. Of course, he adds on in parentheses, if you fake a decent limp. That's not funny, but hey, I know people do that. You can meet other nice people. Go to church on Sunday on the church bus. For a change of scenery, take an airport shuttle bus and eat at one of the nice restaurants. So you don't have to be stuck in one place forever. If the TV's broken, light bulbs need changing, need a mattress replaced, no problem. They fix everything and apologize for the inconvenience. This is too funny. But it's actually a really good idea because we're all going to be the chessboard of life. We're all going to have to figure out, are we going to be the pawn or the king on the chessboard of life? And how are we going to stay on the board and not fall off? And that's how I see it. There's night security at the inn. The maids check to see if you're okay, and if they'll either call you an ambulance or the undertaker. I mean, this is kind of funny, but real. And no worries about visits from the family. They'll always be glad to find you, and probably check in for a few days for a little vacation. And the grandkids will love the pool. What more could you ask for, he says. I thought that was really wild. So life aboard a cruise ship can be glamorous, exciting, and extremely luxurious, assuming anyone you ever feel safe enough about the pandemic to sit on sail will do it again. But I will tell you that you don't have to do yard work, no house cleaning, no preparing of meals. You don't have to hire any help, and you don't have to sell or rent a home. You can just sail on the high seas, change boats. You don't have to worry about anything. And this one person, Mario Salcido, had spent 20 years aboard a cruise ship. And according to Traveler magazine, Salcido budgets around $60,000 to $70,000 per year for his travels. It pays for the voyages by credit card so that the miles earned will cover any flights in between the sailings. I will say it's pretty interesting. And I went on a cruise ship. I actually went on a cruise by myself for a little while just to get away from things. And I met a couple, and they were in their 80s, and they were both in their bathing suits, and they were cruise ship hoppers. Very interesting, and they loved it. So it does exist out there, and it was real when I was there. So a couple more things we should probably go over. Those are funny, wacky ideas, but they're real because there's going to be so many of us, and we need to find a way to find financial stability, security for mental health, social isolation should be reduced, keeping our minds sharp by playing cards or chess or reading books or being with people playing music. But there are some things that many people that are our aging are not able to afford. And when you're looking at assisted living facilities, they're not cheap. The cost of an assisted living facility, according to Genworth Cost of Care Survey, says the annual cost of a private one unit in an assisted living community ranges from $111,000 per year in the District of Columbia to as low as $34,000 in Missouri. And the average is about $48,000 a year. Homemaker services for 44 hours per week. This is somebody who cleans your house, makes your meals, goes shopping for you, does your laundry, but they don't do any personal care. Is 44 hours per week for 52 weeks a year, runs about almost $50,000 a year. And for a home health aide to give you a bath, to take care of washing your hair, cutting your nails, for 48 hours per week for 52 weeks is about $50,000 a year. So we're going to have to figure out how we're all going to manage to get through this if we live long enough. And I'm going to put some sites on my facebook.com/caregiver success site to tell you some places you can look. You can explore co-housing on the golden age of Golden Girl style living. Hey, we have all seen Golden Girls. Great idea. 30 years behind our time right now. Expert interview with Golden Girls Network. Have you considered co-housing or co-sharing or house sharing for retirement? Love that idea. I think if we are going to not be old and poor, we need to consider other options of how we're going to, peel this potato, should I say. And the new retirement planner you can model is look at your home equity. You could purchase long-term care insurance. Purchase a deferred lifetime annuity, which is really cool. It's a calculator that tells you you're going to get a certain amount of money until you reach a certain age, and then it cuts off. My mother-in-law had that, and it was good till she was 94, and she died of a brain aneurysm rupture at 87. So she had money in this account till she was 94, and all her bills were going to be covered, which was very cool. You can also consider family members who are willing to share and let you live with them. Or you can give everything over to your kids, and in a few years you can apply for Medicaid looking like you have no money. So I just want to say, like I said, it's a chessboard of life. We got to figure out what we're going to do as we're getting older, and there's lots of us, and we have to figure out now what we're going to do then. We can't count on money all the time. We can't count on our health, but we can count on each other. Keep it fascinating. Keep it, creative. This is from Nancy, the nurse practitioner at Caregiver Success. So glad you joined me on this video. See you at the next one. And please check out my Facebook page caregiver success for this information, and my book, Caregiver Success for Caregivers, on www.caregiversuccess.com. Please subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you at the next one. Take care, everyone. Stay well. Bye.